Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Model Monster Wrestling and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review. But before we move to the review, please comment in the comment section below and let's start with the Raw review. So Raw opened with Kurt Angle coming out and Kurt Angle and Corbin coming out. Kurt Angle had to announce news regarding Brock Lesnar, and then Roman Reigns' music hit, and he comes out, and Michael Cole is having an orgasm over him, and just like saying the big dog. And then Lashley before Kurt Angle could say anything else, Bobby Lashley comes out, and because he wants to hear some announcement regarding Lesnar too. And then Bobby Lashley says that Roman Reigns has been a failure. He has been not been able to beat Brock Lesnar for the past 3 years, and now it's time for Roman Reigns to move on. And the man has a point. Personally, I think the man has a point. Why would Roman Reigns challenge Brock Lesnar when he knows that he is going to get his ass kicked by Brock Lesnar and he can beat Brock Lesnar? And I personally don't think why WWE thinks that it will be a good match, because we have seen it countless times and it was boring each and every time except for their match at WrestleMania 31. So Roman Reigns mocks Lashley that yeah, I can move on just like you move on from the company for like the 10 years ago. And it was, and then Reigns continued and said that I'm here each and every week. Reigns has just one line every week, that he is here every week. So is Kevin Owens, so is Braun Strowman, so is Finn Balor, and they always give Reigns program with someone who is not here every week to get him over. Bullshit. But yeah, then Lashley again mocks Reigns that Lesnar needs to fight someone legit, and he is the only one legit here, and he has the same career as Brock Lesnar. But then Reigns mocks Lashley's MMA career and said that he has been, where was Lashley been when he was main eventing 4 WrestleManias in a row and all that shit. But then Kurt Angle announced that due to Brock Lesnar contractual issues, the Extreme Rules number one contenders match has been cancelled. Then Reigns said that Brock Lesnar is a son of a bitch, and he didn't say that. And Brock Lesnar all doesn't come here and all that bullshit that Reigns says, and that he comes here each and every day, and Lesnar doesn't care about the people and all that bullshit. But then Lashley followed up pretty good and said, although Lashley has a charisma of a potato chips bag, and he said that that was a bad reference. He said that Reigns can beat Lesnar, anyone legit can beat Lesnar and all that shit, but he said it in a good way. And then Reigns was pissed, and Reigns said that I challenge Bob Lashley to a match right here, right now. But then Kurt Angle says that I will consider it, and you both will have a match at Extreme Rules. But then Revival comes out doing the same thing which they did last week. It was actually new for the viewers who didn't watch Raw last week, so yeah, good for you. And then they personally said it too, that it's the same thing that we did last week and all that shit. And then they had a match. Reigns, the Revival tried to attack the faces, but then the faces cleared the ring with ease. And then Reigns started to beat Dash Wilder, and then the Revival cut him off, and they start to work over Reigns. But then Lashley comes, and then Reigns tags to Lashley, and then Lashley beats up the Revival. Then again he tags to Reigns, and Reigns comes in and powering out Wilder and Dawson. He was just hitting drive-bys and clotheslines and someone drops and all that bullshit. But then we went to the break, and then the Revival started working on Reigns. Reigns got a hog tag to Lashley. Lashley was throwing bodies, tossing bodies here and there. Lashley went for the spine buster to Wilder, hit it, and went for a superplex, delayed vertical suplex, hit it. But then was going for the spear, but Roman Reigns tags in, and then hit a Superman punch on Dash Wilder and then went for the spear, but Dawson took the spear to himself, and then Lashley distracted Reigns, and then Wilder rolled up Reigns for a 3 count. The guy who kicked out of 5 F5s at WrestleMania lost to a roll up pin. Yeah, good for him. I think it was an okay segment, not very good, not very bad. It was an okay segment. Lashley was pretty good in this segment. Lashley showed some character in this segment. I know he is not that charismatic, but he showed some character in this segment, and it is going to be a good match. I personally think at Extreme Rules. So next up we have the same parody of Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. Curtis Axel as Matt Hardy and Bo Dallas as Bray Wyatt on the Titantron on the screen they were doing, and they cough when the smoke came out. It was hilariously bad. I mean, it was good, not that good. I mean, I don't know what it was. It was funny though. And then Curtis Axel was having a match with Matt. It was just a 40 to 50-second match. Matt went for the, I don't know what happened. Matt slipped and Curtis Axel fell over him, and Curtis Axel pinned Matt. And then after the match, Matt was like clapping for and praising Curtis Axel. Then next up we have Bailey backstage, and she was meeting with a returning Alicia Fox. Then we have the returning Authors of Pain. I don't know where they were. Yeah, they were in the main event. I know, not main event. The main event. The main event. Alright, the main event. So then they faced 2 jobbers, beat the shit out of them, and the squash matches continue for Authors of Pain. So yeah, then we move up to the backstage segment with Corbin arguing with Kurt Angle over anything. Then Finn Balor came out and said that he was very upset for that the Extreme Rules match is cancelled, and he wanted to be the face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship, but now the match is cancelled. Baron Corbin made fun of him, and then Braun came in and he said that he is not feeling good about beating Kevin Owens each and every week. Now he wants to tag with Kevin Owens, and then Kurt Angle agrees with him and said that Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens will face Baron Corbin and Finn Balor in a tag match. Then we had Alexa Bliss come out with Mickie James. I don't know, she's back with Mickie James. What kind of bullshit is this? The women's division, they don't. It's like their faces one time, their heels one time, their friends one time, their enemies one time. It's bullshit. And then they tried to mock, and Alexa Bliss said that Nia Jax is not the hero, she is the hero. And then Natalia came out, and it was bad segment. It was not a good segment. And Natalia said Natalia's not a very good promo. Then she said that her friend Ronda Rousey is gonna beat Alexa Bliss in 23 days. And then Nia Jax came out in the corner of Natalia. That was a pretty good rehab that Nia Jax took, because she is just back. I don't know what the bullshit is that was that. And then Natalia and Alexa Bliss had a match. Natalia beat Alexa Bliss in a short match. It was the match in slow motion. Nothing much about the match. It was pure bullshit. It was bad. And then we had Mojo Rawley and No Way Jose. Mojo Rawley cut a pre-match promo on No Way Jose that he is ashamed to be here and all that bullshit. And then he attacked No Way Jose for the sake of it. Yeah, bullshit. And then we had the tag match. Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens versus the Finn Balor and Constable Corbin. It was a decent match. It was a pretty good match, I think. It worked well for. I love the spot where Kevin Owens hit a cannonball on Baron Corbin, and Braun Strowman hit a stinger splash on Finn Balor. It was a very good spot. It looked like Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman can be a very good team, and then the crowd was very much into Braun, and they were very much into that thing he does outside when he just shoulder tackles people. He shoulder tackled Finn. He shoulder tackled Corbin, and then he tagged Kevin Owens. Then Kevin Owens ran wild and he shoulder tackled Finn Balor, and then Corbin cuts him off with a clothesline. At last, Baron Corbin tags in on Kevin Owens, but then Finn Balor fights Baron Corbin because they were tagging each other in the match, and were pissing each other off, especially Corbin, and then they brawl, and then Kevin Owens go and they got counted out, and Kevin Owens won, and then Kevin Owens ran backstage and Braun just chased him, and then Kevin Owens just locked himself in a room, and then Braun Strowman asked a guy working there that have he seen Kevin Owens. The guy said he don't know who Kevin Owens is, and then Braun Strowman described him a guy who has a fat belly. Braun Strowman looks like a bully to me now. And then Kevin Owens came out of it, and then he was just walking away of the arena with his suitcase, and then he said a guy that where are my keys, but Braun Strowman had already took the keys, and Braun Strowman said hope Kevin Owens had done the insurance of his car. And then next up we see that Kevin Owens' car was upside down, and Kevin Owens was heartbroken by it. Braun Strowman is a bully, he's a dick. Kevin Owens is the babyface here. I support you, Kevin Owens. And then next up we had the Riot Squad versus Bailey, Sasha, and Emma Moon. Well, I don't know why. And then it was a decent match, but then Ruby Riot just rolled up Sasha Banks in the end, and then it was a very good heel turn. Bailey just started to beat Sasha Banks, and then it was a pretty good heel turn, and Bailey got a reaction which she hadn't gotten like for a year now, and that reaction was pretty good. So guess, but what can we expect from WWE? Next up, we had Bailey at the backstage segment, and Kurt said that Bailey needs a counseling or she will be fired from WWE. You take such a hot angle and then turn it into such a mess. WWE can do it because it's WWE. And in the main event, we have Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler. The match started off with the pin drop silence in the crowd, but as soon as they started to work over, the crowd was very much into the match. Drew McIntyre was ejected off the ringside by the referee. There are some very good spots. Dolph Ziggler hitting a DDT on the apron, and Seth Rollins hitting a high five flow. Seth Rollins also hitting a ripcord knee, Ziggler hitting a zigzag. They had that pin-up sequences which they did last week, and at last Seth Rollins hit a superplex, and then hit a Falcon Arrow, but then Drew McIntyre cut him off and started beating Seth Rollins, which made the DQ, and Seth Rollins was announced the winner. But then Roman Reigns came out to make the save with a huge pop, huge ovation from the crowd, and positive ovation from the crowd, which was surprising. And then he speared Ziggler and Superman punched and brawled with Drew McIntyre, but Superman punched Drew McIntyre. So I want to see this match. I want to see Rollins and Reigns versus McIntyre and Ziggler as soon as possible. And I think we are going in the direction of possible feud between McIntyre and Roman Reigns. So yeah, it will be good, and I hope there will be a stipulation added to the match between Ziggler and Rollins at Extreme Rules. So yeah, it will be very good. So guys, this was my Raw review. Please comment in the comment section below. Thank you and have a nice day.